Okay. So we got to get focused for this talk. So Be Smart, Brain Fuel, both nootropics help you with higher intensity thought.
Yeah. Plus, it's got a little bit of caffeine, 150 milligrams, 125.
Oh, does it?
Just a little bit.
I mean, caffeine is a nootropic.
Not much. Just like 100 milligrams.
Just like,
So you mix the two together,
coffee.
and then you got more.
Oh God, you're doing like a full scoop?
Yeah, both of each mixed together.
I'm gonna do like a half a scoop
What?
of one.
No.
We're literally drinking an energy drink.
Yeah, we're gonna mix these
And I
together.
already spilled on myself.
Kill it.
Oh, come on.
There you
man.
go. Proud of you. Give me a scoop.
Yeah. I'm giving you a full scoop.
Yeah. That's not a full scoop.
75% of the scoop. Okay.
And how do you conveniently hold your containers?
Yeah, this is actually the real reason that you would want a pop socket. is so you
legitimately work really well.
can- surprisingly. Okay. Let's get these out of here.
Which one was mine?
Yours is, oh, God damn it. I don't know.
I think it's this one. I'm pretty sure.
Yours was the one that was closer to you.
Yeah, that was this one.
Okay, then
I
that's
think.
yours. I think. Also, you didn't grab a lid to shake
Just
this?
swirl.
Swirl's no fun.
Swirl's better. These cups are nice for swirling. They're bad for.
You just gotta hold the lid down when you shake.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't trust it.
Well, I mean, they're like 37-cent lid or cups, so.
Oh, that is strong.
Ooh, that's nice.
Strong though. When you mix them together, I only had an eighth of a cup of water in there.
Ah, it's actually very nice.
You didn't even slam
This
it.
is like two fantastic drinks. I'm just gonna sip on them.
Yep.
Okay. So, I'm gonna talk about a couple of things. I have a couple of things planned for this
Sure.
this episode, but
First off, I'm excited to sit down with you. I like talking to you.
I like talking to you too. You're a
go.
very interesting guy.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah.
You're an interesting guy.
And that brings me to the first, or I guess the second conversation I think we ever really had. Like the second, because the first conversation was in store.
And
You were in Airdrie, you were a brand rep, you were in the store doing a booth.
That's true.
That's how we first met. That was our first kind of conversation, was just us introducing ourselves.
Yeah.
I would say our second conversation, our second real one-on-one conversation, I was in the gym.
Yes.
I was working out I was back day, so it was pull day.
Barely.
I was working out, I remember I was doing the rows.
You were working out.
I was doing the rows, and I was doing 12 reps, 3 sets, and I did my 12 reps. I did my 3 sets. So I got up and I got some, paper towel and went over to wipe it down.
And we'd barely known each other.
We barely knew each other.
I was like-
Again, this is our second conversation.
So
ever.
what are you doing?
Yeah, you walked over, you said, "What are you doing?" Actually, no, you said, "Are you done?" I remember, you said, "Are you done?" And I said, yeah, I think I'm done.
And I said, those are all warm-up sets you just did.
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh no, those were my working sets." And you told me to sit back down, and so I did. And
I was honestly probably a little more rude than that. not as a negative thing, just because, it's like, get down, come on.
but it was fun. It
It
you were
wasn't
being fun about it.
intentionally, I wasn't trying to be a jerk.
Yeah.
was
You were being helpful. You were being
Yeah.
helpful. And so you had me sit down, and you told me to give like one more set, and you said like, forget about the number, just keep going till you can't anymore.
And we kept the same weight you were doing 12s with.
Kept this, same weight that I did 12. So I did 12 with this, and I stopped. Now this time, I sat down, we got to 12,
You were going to stop.
and I was gonna stop. You said keep going, so I kept going. I got to like,
Form was still perfect.
14, 15. You're like, keep going. 16.
You looked mad. You did.
And then, because I was trying, like I was going to failure. Like, I was
you
going
were. You were going good.
hard, like as hard as I could. And I think like, do you remember what I got to? It was like
2022, maybe?
it was like it was
It
up
was in the
there.
low 20s, I
But
believe.
I mean, the last like 4 reps were probably like
No.
not full.
Couple reps, maybe at most.
But I remember thinking like I stopped at 12, and then you came over and you made me like basically
Double it, yeah.
And so, in my mind, it was like almost like this revelation of like, holy crap! I never knew that my body could do that. Like
Yeah.
I never knew
That you could push yourself like
you
that.
could push yourself, because I think what happened, because I reflect and I think like, well, why was I stopping at 12?
And why were you?
And that's what I thought. I think I have the answer, and I think a lot of people do this actually to this day still. It's a mixture of 2 things. One is your program or whatever, it says 12, and so you go to 12 and you stop. The second thing is your body can outperform what your mind thinks it can, And
Yes.
so your mind will tell you to stop before your body's actually done. And I think a lot of people, including myself back then, would get to a point where you listen to your brain. Your brain would say, okay, you're feeling it, you're good, you can stop. And so I would stop. When in reality, like, that's not how you make the gains. The gains is pushing past your mental limit, hitting your physical limit, and then you grow.
Yeah, I mean, you have to turn that off. That brain telling you to stop, telling you you're done. You need to turn that off. You need to learn how to turn that off. And that's how people are going to bust through plateaus. That's how people are going to continue to get better. Not necessarily bigger if that's not their goal, but stronger, faster, leaner, because I mean, it's going to come down to everything, even cardio. You ever do a cardio session, you're like 20, 25 minutes in on a stepper, and you're like, man, this sucks.
Yeah.
And you're like, you just get out of your head. Get out of your head, keep going. In 10 minutes, 15 minutes, you can just make it fly by if you turn that off, right?
Yeah.
But turning it off is hard.
Oh, yeah.
That's the thing.
I mean, how do you do it? Because I would say for myself, I need to get into the zone with music. Like, music, full blast, both headphones. This is why it's hard for me to work out with people, because I need to be in the zone with music for me to go and do that intensity.
I think a lot of people need music, right?
Yeah, and I think it's for that reason.
Yeah, and I mean, I can't work out with a lot of people because I'm really good at distracting myself from whatever else is going on around me.
Yeah.
I mean, you see me, I don't train with music. I can't do music because I have
Insane.
I'm a little bit crazy. Yeah, I have to turn it all off. Mentally, everything gets shut down, right? All I feel and see is what needs to happen for that set. And so, I mean, it depends on the environment of the person, but it doesn't really matter who I'm training with, as long as they can let me go about my set, right? It's just getting out of the headspace, and it works differently for everybody. Music, or maybe you have a goal in mind that you can just visualize as you do your set. It's different for everyone, right?
And so what do you do? Like, I know you said you just see, what you have to do next, but like, is there anything more to it? Like, how do you get pushing past your mental barrier and hitting those physical barriers?
I look at my logbook. And things feel heavy, man. You get in there and you say, oh, I'm supposed to squat 585 today, and you're warming up, and 405 feels heavy, and 455 feels heavy, and you're like, man. You look at your logbook, and you're like, I got 6 reps with 585 last week. I have to be better this week than I was last week. That means that I have to be able to do that, and I have to be able to, be better than that.
Yeah. So just always about outperforming yourself.
Yeah, because I mean, if just because something feels hard, if you know you've done it in the past, you should be able to, as long as you're controlling the majority of the factors that are within your control, diet, rest, supplementation, training. As long as you're not slacking off in any of the areas that you have control over, you should be able to progress and be better than you were your previous work sets. And if you look and you say, this is what I got last time, you should be able to say, there's no way I can't not do that. And I can't not be better than that.
And that's what I do as well now, actually, is I have, like, with my program, it shows me what I did last time. And I always have to try and PR,
write it down.
Right?
You got to write it down.
Try and PR in some way, whether it's a little bit more weight or it's one more rep or whatever. You got to always push to be a little bit better than you did previously.
Well, the thing is, you look at, I lost my train of thought there.
Well, that's okay, because actually I was going to say, I think the only 2 reasons that you shouldn't be able to hit a PR or that you're not hitting your PRs is one of 2 things, and I think you touched on it. Either you're lacking intensity in the gym,
for sure.
Or 2, you're lacking either, the right diet, the right supplementation that you're not getting. There's something else, but there's one of those 2. It's either your diet or your intensity.
And again, those are all things that are within the scope of your own control.
Yeah.
If you want something bad enough, control it, make it happen. Get your meals in, get your rest in, get your supplements in, get your food in, get everything in that you need to get in. Be good at what you're doing in the gym. Don't be lazy. Like, it really just comes down to basic stuff, right? Which probably my last point that I just thought of, PRs. You're in the gym and people are like, oh, did you hit any PRs today? A PR doesn't mean a 1 rep max. It doesn't mean doing, it means doing something better than you did last time. And that should be every single workout. Yeah. There should be no workout that you're not better than the previous time.
Yeah.
Intensity.
And that's now what my philosophy is in the gym, like PR every day. Is kind of the motto I live by in the gym. And I go with that intensity, like ever since, that day that we had that conversation, you pushed me and showed me that I could do that. I really did carry it out through and through every single workout. Obviously there's times where you're either really not feeling it, or maybe you're just having one of those days, because not every single day I go in and I'm having the best workout.
It goes back to being in your head.
Yeah.
Turn that off. You're in the gym. Leave everything at the door. Get in there. Get your workout in. There's days, I got 2 young kids, man. There's days that I'm training on like 2 hours of sleep.
That's fair.
I'm tired, man. I'm tired. I get in there. I turn that off. I'm like, I'm here now. I need to be better.
Yeah, I don't know. I still like.
There are obviously going to be times. I'm not saying it's going to happen every single time that you're
Yeah.
going to be perfect.
Yeah.
But you can try.
Yeah.
Trying is going to get you a lot further.
I agree. I agree, because I definitely agree that like you got to aim to not have the excuses. Like for myself, if I do, oh man, this carbonation. If I do go to the gym and I feel like I didn't hit it intense enough or anything, I just don't count it as like worked out that day. It's like a missed day. Got to make up for it the next day. Yeah. So, what flavor is that?
This is peanut butter.
Okay, yeah.
But don't touch it, because I got a thing about like people touching food. You can bite it, like I'd make out with you, but I don't want your hands in my mouth. You know what I mean?
Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna take this little piece.
That works for me.
Rest is yours.
All right.
Okay. Oh yeah, I'll wait for you. Do you want to grab some of that?
All right, we'll do that one first.
Let's do that one first.
All right.
So, what was the flavor? I think it was
This is Munchies.
Munchies, but it has cookies, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, think about if you smoke a lot of weed,
Okay.
right? I
don't
know
do
you're
that,
an
but
avid.
I'm a Boy Scout. Okay.
Same here, kind of. I haven't in years and years and years. But anyway, Munchies. So cookies, pretzels, caramel.
And cookies, right?
Cookies is the first thing I
Okay.
said.
I want to eat this, so I'm giving you 3 seconds. 3.
Cheers me.
2, 1.
That's not bad. I like that it didn't break my teeth.
Yeah. Sometimes they can be hard, so this one was not. So it was good.
Not bad.
I don't know if I don't know if cookies and pretzels mix though.
That's because you're not high enough for that.
Yeah, this is gotta be high, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay, let's try the next one.
You go ahead. Go first.
Here.
Peanut butter cup. Just take that piece.
Okay. This one smells good.
It smells good.
Okay, so the Yolani fits it's a bar. Cheers.
Okay.
That's not bad.
Don't. All right. I'll eat them later.
Yeah. Not as good as the grenade bars.
But better than these ones.
Those are not good?
We could try to break one on camera if you want. Try being the key word.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right. Just being honest here. We're all about transparency
That's true.
at Supplement King.
We will be as honest as we possibly can. If we
I'm
don't like
always
something-
honest with customers.
Yeah. I mean, now that being said, everyone's taste buds are different. There's certain bars, I will say, that I've said to customers taste like shit. And
Oh, you can't say that.
well, I'm gonna bleep it.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So I said it tastes like shit, and then they said it was their favorite bar.
Really?
Really?
Have they just suffered a recent mental health break?
No, because I've actually had that happen multiple times.
Really? Interesting.
And I was like, why? And people just have acquired taste.
Yeah, but I mean, generally acquired tastes don't consist of having your teeth made of concrete, because that's what it required to bite.
Okay, true.
Right.
A lot of the Alani bars are a little bit crunchy.
To be fair, those ones were actually really good.
Those were really good.
And
And I think those are fresher.
I mean, that might come down to it, because like every Alani bar that I've tried has been like within 2 or 3 months of the expiration. And I don't know if that plays a role.
Probably does.
Maybe.
Okay, let's get into it.
All right. Pisses me off.
What pisses you off?
A lot of things, to be honest. But what I was thinking just now was the fact that people don't warm up properly.
Yeah.
You ever see people at the gym and they're like, yeah, you know, they ask you what you're training today, and then you ask them what they're going to train, and they say they're going to do legs, and they go into the squat rack if they're even going to do that, or they go into the leg press. Let's use the leg press for example.
Yeah.
and they throw 5 plates on each side. You're just asking for an injury. Do you know how much knee warm-ups I do prior to even doing anything?
Yeah.
I do banded stuff and then body weight stuff and then, activation stuff. It's just, or, bench press. One of the most highly potential risks for injury exercises.
Yeah, no, I think lack of warming up was something, again, that I suffered from myself.
I used to. I used to watch you across the gym.
I remember it was actually like when we did a shoot, actually, you and Joel were doing a shoot.
Yes.
And you guys were warming up before the shoot.
Do you remember how many warm-ups we did?
Quite a few, and that's what provoked me to ask. I was like, well, what is the proper warm-up and why? And then you guys were like, well, you got to warm up. Like, it's, essential. Otherwise, you're playing Russian roulette with your muscles.
100%. That, and I mean, if you're not warming up and activating the muscles prior to training them, you're missing out on, some of those potential work sets being more effective than they are, right?
Yeah, and so I mean now for everything, I always give like roughly like 10 to 15 minutes
That's good.
of it's either body weight or band, usually just a mix of both there, and then I start with like some light activation workouts, and then I get into it.
And I mean, that's honestly what it takes. Example, 3 days ago here, I was doing back, and I was short on time. I did all my warm-ups for lats.
Yeah.
100%. I was actually going to start with a lat activation stuff. So my first exercise was actually going to be straight arm pull downs.
Yeah.
Right? Straight arm pull downs?
Yeah.
Like a cable pullover. So I did warm-up sets, band stuff, internal, external rotation, dislocations, some light rowing, some light pull downs, just lat activation stuff, a couple curls just to get the biceps kind of warmed up a little bit.
Yeah.
Finished my 3 working sets to complete failure.
Yeah.
Straight arm pull downs. And then I was going to hop onto weighted pull-ups. And I made the stupid mistake of not warming up that exercise. I got onto the pull-up and I was like, you know what? I did a little bit of bicep warm-up. My lats are feeling warm. I'm going to hop in. I'm going to throw a plate on a belt and I'm going to start doing pull-ups. Normally, before I do any pull-ups, it's going to be, a couple light sets of lat pull-downs. Yeah. It's going to be, or like an assisted pull-up, taking a little bit of weight off my body weight. And then pull-ups, body weight and then adding weight. But I was like, hey, I feel good. Threw a plate on. I did 7 reps, 8 reps, whatever it was. Don't remember. I have to look. But took about 30 seconds and hopped in for a second set. On my second set, felt a pop in my left bicep. Immediately started bruising, swelling, bruising. Couldn't contract my bicep.
Oh God.
And it's not a full tear. It's actually not as bruised as it was, but you can still see a little bit of bruising here. And it's still a little bit swollen, still hurts to touch, still very tender.
Yeah.
But again, it comes down to the warming up. Like, I thought I was warm, but I didn't warm up on that exercise. Just because you're warm, just because the muscles are warm, doesn't mean you're warmed up for your following exercise.
Yeah, warming up is huge. Warming is huge.
If I go from squats to leg press, I'm still starting with just the sled on the leg press, and then a plate, and then 2, and then 3. Like, I'm warming up methodically,
And that's, this is actually, I was thinking about this the other day, so I'm glad we're talking about this. How many sets do you do to failure? Because for me, usually what I do is I do the first set is lighter warm up every time. New workout, I go light warm up. Then the first one is like, it's not like the heaviest weight I could do, but it's like kind of just below that. Then
is it to failure or just
not to failure?
Okay.
So on the first one, it's not to failure. It's just to like 12, like even number. Okay. Then on the next one, I go up and weight a little bit, go to failure.
Okay.
And then with the last one, that's when I go to failure, and then usually I'll do like a little bit of a drop set kind of thing, and try and really rep it out.
The intensity.
With the high intensity on the second and third, but not the first.
Okay.
So would you say that's good, or should I go like to failure on every single one of my sets? I just don't know.
So then it depends. It's going to vary from individual to individual. It's going to vary even from gender to gender and person to person. Like, women can generally handle higher volume than men can. It depends on your personal recovery period. It depends on what supplements you're taking and what, let's call it, super supplements you're taking, what your diet's like.
Yeah.
A lot of factors are going to play a role. And I mean, how often you're training that muscle group is going to play a role.
Yeah.
If you look at the science and you say, okay, most people are going to do really well on 10 to 20 hard sets per muscle per week on average. So if we average that, say 15, okay? How often are you training chest, for example? Once a week, twice a week?
Right now, my current program, I think it's just once a week.
So if you're doing chest once a week, then let's say 15, let's say 10 good sets. You're young, you recover well, but your intensity is there. Let's say 10 good hard sets to failure. How many exercises are you doing?
For chest, it's probably going to be about 3 exercises.
Right. So I would say doing each of those sets within, it doesn't have to be complete failure. The study says within about, 2 to 4 reps in reserve, let's call it. Meaning you could potentially have 2 to 4 reps left in the tank. And that's true reps left in the tank, not, I think that I'm, If you're hitting within that range, I think you're good. So if you have 4 exercises, 3 sets per exercise, even if the last 2 of each, you're going to be within that, 8-ish sets to failure. And you're going to have to you gauge that. You follow your progress. You check your logbooks. You take progress pictures. You check the scale. Everything kind of plays a role in engaging your own progress, right? If you're making progress, you're probably doing good enough. Myself, I would say I'm naturally very skinny, man. When I started training, I was 118 pounds at 5'11", right? I was 18 years old. I was super skinny.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, super skinny. Like my wrists were like the size of my upper arm. You know?
'Cause I was like 160 for most of my high school years.
Yeah, and I was tiny. So for me, it all became about force feeding and figuring out what worked for my body. Because when I started training, I didn't even gain weight. And I thought I was eating well, which I was eating not enough. I thought I was training hard, but a lot of high volume, not necessarily to failure, kind of old school bodybuilding magazines. Do you know what magazines are?
Absolutely.
Okay, I mean, a lot of kids these days, we grew up on the bodybuilding magazines. You kids grew up on the...
I think everyone knows what a magazine is.
Do they?
If you don't know what a
magazine is... People, they used to come in the mail sometimes, or you could buy them in the store. It's like a book.
It's like, what's a book though?
True. It's like a paper copy of those things you read on that internet. Yeah, do you know? Can I get an idea? I'll bring one in next time. Show you.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I mean, I'd be doing like 20 sets or 30 sets for chest.
Yeah.
It's a lot of volume. Wasn't making progress. For me, I find I get in. Let's use an example of a push day for me.
Yeah.
Okay. I would do, say, 2 main chest movements. Let's say a incline barbell press and a dumbbell fly. Those would be my 2 main movements. So I would do my banded warm-ups, and which would be internal, external rotation, dislocations, quick extensions to get the elbows warm, just everything to feel warm. And once I feel good, it would be hopping in, using the bar to figure out bar path, figure out the best kind of like activation, kind of like range, make sure everything feels good with just the bar. Treating the bar like it's work sets, treating it like the same, not just banging it out, firing it off my chest, making sure I'm activating and feeling good. And then it would be sometimes, depending on how I feel, even just putting on a 25 aside to gauge things. And then it would be, say, 15 reps there.
Yeah.
Then a plate, 8 reps. Plate and a quarter, 6 reps. 2 plates, 3 reps. 2 and a quarter, 1 rep. Make sure I feel good.
Yeah.
And then maybe I go to 3 plates for my working set. So I don't really feel like I need a ton of, like I wouldn't do, say, 3 sets and go, 12 and then 8, and then my last set is to failure. I would go, once I get into my work sets, those are to failure. So my warm-up sets would be like 15, 8, 5, 3, and then 1s until I get to my like singles right up into my work
So
sets.
are you strength training then?
No.
Because isn't like hypertrophy is not as, I've heard it's not as good for strength training. What you want to do is you want to try and go like 1 to 5 reps is where you want to build strength.
Yeah, I mean, yes and no. That's going to build more central nervous system, like kind of because of the activation, right? The way that the muscles learn to fire. But it's all going to build muscle in the long run. But so what I'm saying is my warm-up sets will be, getting into those singles. And then once I'm on my work set, say I'm on my 3 plates aside now, I'll hit a set of like 8 to 12 in that failure range. So that's my first working set to failure. Then I'll take, 30 seconds to a minute, whatever I feel like I need. And it's going to be timed, but it'll be depending on that day, whatever the exercise is. And then I'll go again. And I'll probably get, half of that. So maybe I'll get 6 to 10. And then I'll take another 30 seconds to a minute, and then maybe I'll only get 4 on my last set. That exercise is done. Then I'll go into my dumbbell flies. And I'll do maybe 1 warm-up set, because the chest is done now.
Yeah.
Right? It's warm. It feels good. I get into my warm-up sets just to feel out the motion of the exercise, make sure that I'm not at risk for injuring myself. I get into the pull-ups because I didn't warm up that exercise. You should always warm up each individual exercise to make sure it feels good.
Yeah.
Just because one thing feels good doesn't mean the motion feels good on everything, right? Get into my flies, maybe a light set of, grab a pair of 50s, do like 6 reps just to make sure it feels good. And then I'll do 2 to 3 work sets with, 70 or 80 pound dumbbells. And that'll be something like 15, 10, 7, something like along those lines. But those are all to failure. Yeah. 30 seconds to a minute of the rest. So I would do 6 sets to failure for chest. And I would do that twice a week. So that's 12. Oh. Jeremy, silence your phone, bro.
Oh, give me a second. Hey, Mitch, how's it going?
Hang up on that guy.
Hi.
Are you busy?
Yes.
I'm currently on the talk show. What's up?
Put him on speaker.
Oh, wait, I'm going to put you on speaker.
Put him on speaker. You can be part of this.
Hold on.
What?
Hey, Mitch, say hi to the podcast.
Join in the conversation.
Oh, hey, how's it going? My name's Mitch.
What can I do for you, Mitch?
So I got a customer that came in the store, and then he was talking about some videos and stuff for because he's doing a competition he's doing an MMA fight in a competition.
Okay.
He's an MMA fighter, based in Calgary or something. I don't know, something like that. I gave him your information, your number, because he was thinking of maybe like setting up a booth of some sort, or even doing an individual shoot with him.
Nice.
Because his competition is at the end of March. So I even mentioned something like, like Supplement King could even set up a booth during the competition if that's allowed. And he was like,
Sure.
I'll reach out to him. Maybe I could even ask him to shoot some videos at the club or at the gym that he goes to. So I just wanted to let you know because he came in the store and he was a nice guy, and I gave him your information.
No, I love that.
That's cool. Expect a call.
Yeah, no, I always appreciate the heads up. Also, did you guys get the new shakers in yet? Because over here at Beacon, we just got in the metal red, white, and black thermal shakers, and they look so good.
I wish they were red, white, and blue.
They look so good.
I want it so bad.
Oh my gosh, they're gonna be sold out by the end of the month. People are gonna go crazy over them.
They're
people
cool.
People are gonna buy 10 of those.
Oh yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
No, we haven't gotten
these.
them, and we're so low in shakers in general too. So I want those ASAP.
How many shakers do you guys have there?
No, okay, we're gonna wrap this up. We're gonna wrap this up.
Hang up,
All
Mitch.
right. Sorry, Mitch, I'm gonna have to let you go here, but thank you for the call.
Oh, no, sorry. I'm taking a lot of your time. No worries.
All right, take care, buddy.
Okay, bye,
All right, bye.
I'll tell you one thing about Mitch, always interrupting stuff.
Always okay, let's switch gears here, actually.
All right.
First of all, these Alani drinks are so good.
I got watermelon. It's actually, honestly, pretty good.
Cosmic Stardust.
What does that taste
everyone
like?
loves. It tastes like
Cosmic
the
Stardust.
universe.
Really?
It tastes like the universe in a can.
Interesting.
But no, seriously, we're gonna switch gears here a little bit. A week ago, I came into the store.
Yes.
And I had a problem.
You do have problems.
I have many problems, but
Which one are we talking about?
this specific problem how do I even describe it? It was like an acid reflux that I was getting almost every single night.
But you didn't describe it that way.
But I didn't describe it that way. How did I describe it?
You said that you felt, was it nauseous?
Yeah, I guess so.
You couldn't lay down right after eating within, what, you said a couple hours?
Yeah, going to bed. I think it was, I said I came in and I said, I'm thinking about going to the doctor because every time I go to bed, I get nauseous.
Yeah.
And it's, even if I wait 5 hours after eating, I still get nauseous.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sure why.
Yeah.
And so I asked your input on it. And what was your input?
I had a couple ideas.
Which were?
You want to hear all of them?
Just here.
Do you want to talk about the one that maybe
what was the
worked?
What was the one that you actually suggested?
There was 2 I suggested. One was checking your blood glucose levels to see what was happening, to see if you were plummeting or staying too high, to see if there was something maybe going on that was maybe actual hormonal.
Okay,
something
glucose
from
levels,
the endocrine side,
Yeah.
But the other one was maybe a digestive issue, maybe too much or not enough stomach acid. And then I asked if you were recently taking any antacids.
And I said I was taking Tums every night, yeah. Until like the last couple days.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I had said, problem with a lot of people nowadays taking antacids. Antacids and the pharmaceuticals in general are pushed so hard. I got heartburn. Oh, take Tums, take Rolaids, take whatever, right? Take some Pepto. What you're doing is you're blunting your stomach acid response. Well, your body strives to maintain even baseline status.
Yeah.
What happens if you shut down your stomach production even momentarily with an antacid? Your stomach fights back, gives you more acid, right? What'll happen then? Too much acid makes you nauseous, gives you that burning heartburn, which can be, a lot of people take it differently. Sometimes it's nausea, sometimes it's actual vomiting, sometimes it's the bile that comes up in your throat. Sometimes it's just feeling unwell or different things, right? So my suggestion was, let's try a couple things. Let's try one. Let's take a shot of apple cider vinegar after your meal, because what you'll do then is you'll give your stomach more acid, which actually calms your natural production of stomach acid and leaves you more baseline, because acid plus acid equals base for whatever reason, science, right? It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
And then I was like, give it a shot. Let me know what happens, because then if it's that, we have a rough idea.
So let's go into that. So.
Okay. I've been asking you this whole time.
Yes, I've waited to this moment because
I see this guy a few times at the gym, and he's like, "Bro, I tried the apple cider vinegar thing." I was like, "Oh, how did it work?" He's like, "I'll fill you in like 7 weeks from now."
When we're on the talk show, we saved it for this moment for you guys.
It's frustrating.
Okay, so just to reiterate, I wasn't able to sleep because every time I laid down, it was causing some kind of acid reflux, which would cause me to vomit, and then so I would throw up. So
you were actually throwing up too.
Yeah, I was actually. So okay. My solution: take Tums before I go to bed every night, every day, and you won't have this problem. That's what I was doing. Then I stopped taking Tums because apparently you're not supposed to take Tums every single day. So I stopped taking the Tums, and the acid is coming back. I can't sleep. It's keeping me up for many hours at night. And instead of going to the doctor, I come to this guy. I walk into Supplement King. I talk to this guy, and he tells me to take apple cider vinegar.
An actual shot.
A shot.
Not just the pills, not the gummies. Yeah. An actual shot of good apple cider vinegar.
So I go to the store that night, and I buy just a little tub thing of apple cider vinegar. No idea. It was from Superstore.
Okay.
I just went, saw it, bought it.
Little shout out to Superstore, maybe.
Shout out to Superstore. I go home. And I eat at 7 p.m. or whatever, and then I take a full tablespoon at 9. So I waited a couple hours because I was going to go to bed at 10. Take a shot. That night, went to bed, no problem.
Nice.
No problem. It totally worked. Then the next night, I had a later dinner. Okay. So I ate at 8:30.
Yeah.
Normally, this would be a huge problem.
Yeah.
I would be up vomiting.
Yeah.
Took the shot of vinegar, no problem.
Beautiful.
Again.
Love it.
So I did that for a few nights. Now, even when I don't take the apple cider vinegar, still fine.
Because you've put yourself back at a baseline. You're no longer overproducing acid.
So there you go. Don't go to the doctor. Just
Never go to the doctor.
Just come to Supplement King. They have all the answers. I am extremely impressed.
Thanks, bro.
I'm
happy you're feeling better.
I'm happy I'm feeling better too.
Yeah.
So problem solved. You got a problem, go to this guy.
I solve problems.
He does.
I do.
He does.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're going to end it there. So thanks for tuning in and listening to us. Hopefully you got something of value, or it was entertaining or something.
Yeah.
But come to the store. You're going to want to grab one of these.
Oh, these are great.
These are metal shakers. They have a straw. They're going to sell out within the month probably.
Oh, for sure.
So if they're not already gone, get them. Because last time they sold out within, I think it was 2 weeks. 2 weeks, they completely sold out. And now our call list is a mile long of people who want them. So
100%.
They're going to be gone fast. I'm probably going to buy 4 of them myself.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Okay, well, I will see you guys in the store. Take care.
Drink more water. It's important.
Yeah.
Up your intensity in the gym. Eat your meals.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
And fuel your goals with Supplement King.
Yeah.
Bam. There we go. That's an ending.
Love it.
Love it. Okay.
Nice.
All right. Well,
that's good, bro.
Yeah, thanks for being on.
I'm glad that worked for you.
Yeah.
I really have to pee.